Hey guys, in this video, we're going to talk to Alejandra Londono. She's going to share with us info from her time teaching in a kindergarten classroom as well as teaching online. So let's go. Yes, I'm so glad you were able to do this.
Of course.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
All right. So my name is obviously Alejandra Londono. I have been a teacher for about 5 years. Right now, I'm teaching a lot for Outschool and VIP Kid. Before that, I was a brick and mortar teacher. I taught kindergarten for a little bit. I taught fourth and fifth grade for a year. And I honestly love both avenues of teaching. Like I love brick and mortar classroom and I do love online teaching. And then like background about me, I'm married. I've been married for about 5 years. We have no real babies right now, only fur babies. So yeah, we like to travel. And that's kind of what kind of led me into online teaching, really.
Yeah, that's awesome. Love the flexibility that it gives you, right? Right. So what made you want to start teaching?
So let's go to brick and mortar first. So I actually went to college thinking I was going to focus on the medical field. Um, and then when I started taking some of those science classes, I was like, yeah, no, I don't even like this. It's way too hard. Like I wasn't even interested in it at all. And then both of my parents are actually teachers. So then they were kind of like, oh, like, why don't you try that? And I kind of just went with it. I was the oldest of four. So I've always kind of been like the leader of my little pack. So I just felt like teaching was good for me and it just worked out really, really well, honestly.
Sure, that's awesome. Okay, what was your favorite part of teaching?
So honestly, with both classroom and online, it's really the bond. And I think it's because right now I don't have kids of my own. I really treat my students like they're my kids. I love the friendships that you're able to develop. And I really like how kids look up to you, like as a leader or as a good figure. So that's just something I really, really treasure as a teacher.
Good. Yeah. What is one thing you wish you knew before you started teaching?
So many. So let's start with classroom. So when I was a brick and mortar classroom teacher, I think the biggest thing is like every year gets easier, but you have to go in and just do your best. So you cannot stress over getting everything done because you're never gonna get
Never.
everything done. You just have to do the best you can and just realize, that each year gets a little bit easier. It gets a little better.
Yeah. Yeah.
With online teaching, I was just thinking about this actually. I made a video like a few weeks ago thinking about all the things I've learned over the 3 years. And I think the biggest thing is that teacher burnout is a real thing. So when you are like first starting online teaching, you need to start slow and try to like build a schedule that you can maintain. You don't
Yeah.
want to just go like full force and then you just get burned out and you don't
Right.
really enjoy it.
What was the most difficult part of teaching for you?
So I think difficult, and it's still challenging now, is finding a balance. So as you can probably tell, I love teaching. I really, really do. I see it as a hobby as well. But I do need to have a better balance and make sure I'm getting enough sleep. I'm spending time with my family. I'm still exercising. I'm keeping my house clean, like all of those things. So I still struggle a lot with having a good balance
Sure.
with everything.
So tell us a funny story from your time teaching.
This one I was thinking mostly of like classroom because that's when you really, really get to be with kids so much. So, like I said, I was a kindergarten teacher for 2 years, and kindergarten's like my favorite. That's like my favorite age, my favorite everything. I just love, love, love kindergarten. But my last school I worked at, it was like an outdoor hallway school. So, like, you had the buildings, but our hallways were outside.
Interesting.
So obviously, lots of bugs and critters would get in throughout the year. So one day there was a huge bug in my room, and I do not do bugs at all. Like I don't. So I saw it and I kind of freaked out a little bit. And I told my students, like, hey, there's a bug. I'm gonna try to get it. And then one of I was looking at it and I was like, oh, never mind. Like, I'm not getting it. I'm not going. I'm not going. So all my kids are screaming and yelling in my classroom. And then I have one brave kid go up and he has like my huge yardstick trying to hit the bug out of the room. It was just, I still have videos of it because I thought it was so hilarious. And it's so random, but I don't know. It's like little things like
Yeah.
that are just
And
so funny to partners. They love to copy each other. So then
mhm.
every other kid was like, "Oh, I want to help. I want to do it too." All my kids wanted to get the bug out of the room.
Yes.
Those are pretty funny ones.
What was your favorite thing to teach?
Okay, so like I said, kindergarten. I feel like kindergarten, almost everything. I just love that age because I feel like they absorb so much. But if I really, really had to pick a favorite, I would definitely say like reading and phonics.
Mm.
I love teaching kids like when they're just starting to learn to blend and do all the CVC words and stuff. All of that stuff, then leading, like transitioning into reading. It's just really, really fun teaching that level. And then also I was thinking about like out school wise, I teach a lot of animal classes and I have a lot of pets and I just love like researching and learning about different animals, watching documentaries. So it's
Yeah,
really, both of those are probably my favorite.
that's neat. Okay, so is that what you mainly teach on Out School?
Yeah, so I mainly teach kindergarten style classes because obviously that's what I love.
Yeah.
And then animal classes because that's what I started with initially and it kind of took off. So I've just been sticking with those two.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to tell me a little bit about your YouTube channel.
So yeah, I was actually reflecting on YouTube as well because I think it's next week that I started doing YouTube for a whole year, which is really, really, really cool. It's funny because I don't know if you know Nancy. I mean, you probably do know Nancy
I
Taylor.
do. Yeah.
Around. I loved her videos, and I've always like been inspired by her. So I took her course, and that kind of is what pushed me to do YouTube. Because honestly, I never really saw myself doing it.
Okay.
And I went to it thinking I was going to really focus on like recruiting and stuff, but it's totally led into something else. And it's honestly just really, really fun, like creating videos and then interacting with other teachers, whether they're going through the hiring process, whether they need help creating their classes, whether they just need tips. So I feel like I'm trying to treat it as a business, but it's also a hobby
Yeah.
because it's a lot of fun. It really is really rewarding, to help other people. So,
What is your channel name?
oh, my name.
Okay, perfect.
Nothing fancy.
Good. All right, perfect. Thank you so much to Alejandra for joining me today. Don't forget to go over and check out her YouTube channel. The link for that will be listed in the description below. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye.